Being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin board at Township Hall. We request anyone wishing to address council, please wait for the deputy mayor to recognize you. Please state your name and address for the record, and please remember, all comments must be kept to 3 minutes or less.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Councilmember Conrad?
Here.
Councilmember Wareham?
Here.
Councilmember Roy?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Coombs?
Here.
Mayor Sippel?
Here.
Okay, let's move down to the consent agenda. Any council comments on the consent agenda only?
No. None.
Okay, are there any public comments on the consent agenda only? I see none.
Approval of the minutes, February 3rd, 2025. Resolutions number 2025-95 through 2025-103. Ordinance 2025-06, an ordinance amending Chapter 3, Administration of Government, Article 6, Office of the Township Manager, Departments, subsection 23, Department of Revenue and Finance, Division of Taxation, Division of Tax Collection, Qualified Purchasing Agent of the Code of the Township of Lower. And ordinance number 2025-07, an ordinance amending Chapter 185, Brush, Grass, and Debris of the Code of the Township of Lower to establish new regulations prohibiting the planting of bamboo. This is the first reading of ordinances 2025-06 and 07. The second reading and public hearing will be held on March 17th, 2025.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Wareham?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Coombs?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
All right, the regular agenda. The first resolution is resolution number 2025-104. This is a person-to-person transfer of liquor license 0505-33017007 from Bayshore Restaurant, Inc. to the local tavern.
I'd like to make a motion to table this with agreement of both parties involved. Second motion?
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Wareham?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Coombs?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-03, an ordinance amending Chapter 3, Administration of Government, Article 2, Township Council, subsection B, powers and duties of the Township Council of the Code of the Township of Lower. This is the second reading and public hearing of this ordinance. This ordinance has been published, posted, and made available to the public.
Are there any council comments?
No.
Any public comment on that ordinance? See none? Any motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Wareham?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Coombs?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-04, an ordinance amending Chapter 90, Police Department, Article 3, Off-Duty Police Services, to modify administrative fees to account for additional taxes incurred by the township and to modify fees associated with the use of township police department vehicles. This is the second reading and public hearing of this ordinance. This ordinance has been published, posted, and made available to the public.
Any council comments on this ordinance?
No.
Any public comment? None? Okay. Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Wareham?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Coombs?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Okay, let's move on down to the engineer report. Bill.
Thank you, Council. This evening, I will be updating you guys on the current capital projects underway in the township. I'm here on behalf of de Blasio and Associates, so going over the capital project, the first capital project on our report is the Rotary Park Community Park renovations. As you guys know, this is a two-phase project. Phase 1 has been complete. It's open to the public in July. All permits, wetlands permits, have been obtained for Phase 2. And while we are underway for design of Phase 2, a funding opportunity came up for Jake's Law Playground. So that's a completely inclusive, ADA-friendly playground grant that's being offered through the Green Acres program by the NJDEP. So we submitted that February 5th, so we're just awaiting the results on that. And once we hopefully get awarded that grant, we'll be ready to put that project out to bid. But that should cover the substantial portion of Phase 2, so we're hoping that comes through. The second project is the Bay Outfall Extension. So the proposed work includes designs and permits to extend 15 of the Bayside outfalls, and the township is aiming to construct 5 of these outfalls in 2025. So we did receive NJDEP approval. However, as part of that approval, we need authorization from the Army Corps of Engineers. And the Army Corps of Engineers has, I guess, been holding us up in this project. That's largely due to U.S. Fish and Wildlife having concerns about the red knot habitat. That came to light about a month ago. So we were able to meet with representative from U.S. Fish and Wildlife on February 11th and outline what sort of information they need from us to make a proper assessment of the impact. The meeting went really well. There was originally talks of doing sand drift studies and all this kind of stuff, but they didn't actually need that much information, so we've submitted what they've asked for, and that should be the final hoop to jump through. And we're looking to construct that project on July 1st, start construction on that project July 1st, as there is a seasonal restriction for work up till June 30th. So that, unfortunately, is going to push that project after that seasonal restriction. The next capital project is the Delaware Bay Drive Pump House Outfall Extension. So this outfall extension was originally part of that 15. However, the majority of that outfall fell above the mean high water line, so we were able to, we had authorization to build that part of it. So we basically chopped off 5 lineal feet of it and said, let's go ahead and build it. Due to the seasonal restriction coming up on April 1st, the township deemed it an emergency because it's causing an erosion issue in the dune. So we put that out for emergency bid. Last week, we received 3 bids, and the lowest responsible bidder was R.A. Walters and Sons, Inc., in the amount of $127,700. And construction is set to commence on this project in 3 weeks once materials have been procured. And it's set to be complete by April 1st, 2025. The next capital project is the 2024 NJDOT Municipal Aid Program reconstruction of Ridgewood Avenue. The proposed work includes milling and paving Ridgewood Avenue from Bayshore Road to the western end of Ridgewood Avenue. The township has already received a $200,000 municipal aid grant for this project. The funding opportunity came up last year through the local aid program for NJDOT. So we submitted this road for an additional grant. However, we're still awaiting the results of that. So design's been largely substantially completed for that, but we can't go out to public bid until we receive the news on that bid on that grant application. The next capital project is the 2023 Stormwater GIS Mapping Services Project. So that project is an ongoing project of digitizing all the Lower Township's stormwater infrastructure maps. So our office has been chipping away at that with the Lower Township Department of Public Works, and it's been going well, and we've been getting through it. So that's due at the start of 2025, so we're set to hit that date. The next project is the David Douglas Senior Memorial Park renovation. So this includes completely renovated David Douglas Senior Memorial Park next to the ferry terminal. It's an expansion of the existing parking lot, relocating and redesigning the existing memorial, new site amenities, new decorative footpath, and an observation deck. What's happening in conjunction with this project is a project being done by the DRBA where they plan to expand Beach Drive and add in a footpath connecting Lincoln Boulevard to David Douglas Senior Memorial Park. So we've been coordinating the 2 projects, and an agreement's been reached between the township and the DRBA, and the DRBA is largely going to be funding that project, I think in the amount of $1.5 million. And a memorandum of agreements has been submitted to their governing body for approval. So that's good news for the township. In other good news, a development grant was submitted to the Cape May County Open Space Board for this project. We presented the final design January 24th to the Cape May County Open Space Board, and they have approved, or I guess endorsed, a grant in the amount of $2,139,567. So that's been recommended by the Cape May County Open Space Board. They're recommending it to the county commissioners for final approval, hopefully in a couple months. That's going to fund the majority of the project, so that's great news for the township. We are also seeking an NJDCA ADA improvement grant for this project that's been submitted, so we're waiting to hear news on that. I think that's in the amount of $400,000, so hopefully we can secure that as well and cover the lion's share of this project cost. So right now, our office has begun the preliminary permitting process. It's going to be a pretty long permitting process, but we're getting a jump on it. As we've learned from previous project, it takes a while dealing with some of these government agencies. The next capital project is the Lower Township Public Works building design. So the proposed work includes a new public works administration building, associated utilities, a new site layout, including reorientating the site entrance. So a septic permit was submitted to the Cape May County Department of Health on February 12, 2025, and that's really dictating our bid date. So it roughly takes about a month to get that permit, so we're going to be going out to bid shortly thereafter. So it's set for mid to end of March going out to bid for that project. So we're pretty well complete with the design of that project, just going over things with Public Works, making sure everything's right. So we're looking good to get that project out to bid soon. The next project is number 8, the Holmes Avenue, Gorham Avenue, Scott Avenue Storm Sewer and Roadway Improvement Project. The proposed work for this project includes replacing the storm sewer from Holmes Avenue to Hughes Avenue and Scott Avenue intersection, resurfacing the roadway, and the installation of concrete curbs and sidewalks in various areas. So we've surveyed and base mapped this area. We've been holding off on design because the LTMUA has been investigating whether they need to do infrastructure work in the area. They've determined that they need to replace their water mains, so we're going to be working on that project in conjunction with the LTMUA, and then we'll be moving into design for that project. The next capital project is the Lower Township Municipal Pool Building Evaluation. So this was an evaluation we completed on the existing pool building, assessing ADA compliance. We received a 2024 NJDCA Small Cities Grant in the amount of $400,000, so that's going to be allocated to that project. The next capital project, number 10, is the 2025 NJDOT Municipal Aid Program Reconstruction of Beach Avenue. The proposed work for this project includes milling and paving Beach Avenue from Spruce Avenue to Maryland Avenue. The township was notified by the NJDOT that a grant in the amount of $158,190 has been allocated to this project. The project area has been surveyed, base map, and we're underway with design for this project. We've also been working with the LTMUA and are awaiting a determination from them if they need to do any sewer work or water work. The next capital project is the Lower Township MS4 compliance project. So the proposed work for this project is helping out the township in complying with their current MS4 stormwater outfall permit. They audit it every year, so we've been helping Gary meet certain requirements. We're well underway with that. We just submitted the Lower Township Stormwater SPP, Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, and we just have one item remaining to be submitted to the NJDEP. The final capital project is the resurfacing of Cardinal Avenue. So the proposed work includes milling and paving Cardinal Avenue from Beach Avenue to Main Street. Surveys commenced in the project area, and design will begin shortly thereafter. We're also awaiting answers from the LTMUA if they need to do any sewer or water work on that roadway. That wraps it up, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys had any.
GIS stormwater mapping, you've been chipping away at it. I know it's due kind of soon. You said 2025. What about roughly what percentage are you at?
We're probably about 45% through.
Okay.
So Lower Township, how it's working is they're actually going out and doing all the survey to save the township money, and then we're doing all the GIS work. So we give them a map, they survey it, give it to us. So we just kind of did it this way to, I guess, lower
whatever works. I just, so we had an idea.
Yeah.
How far. Thank you.
Any more questions for Will? Great stuff. Thanks, Will.
Cool. Thank
Okay, let's go down to public comment. Anyone wishing to address council, please approach the podium and give your name and address for the record.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi, I'm Deb Heenan, and I live on West Bates Avenue. Is that all you need to know?
Can you give your actual address on
134 West Bates Avenue. I come with comments, suggestions, and concerns. I spoke to somebody over a year ago. My concerns are more just to make it more pretty. You know, the water tower, I've been trying to, why can't we get like a sunset painted on it? I've talked to Wildwood, I've talked to Ocean County, I've talked to somebody in the office on April 25th of 2023. I've heard nothing. I went with another neighbor of mine. We had some suggestions about stop signs and speed bumps and community yard sales and just some community stuff, but no one in over a year has, I know you guys are busy, but nobody has got back to me about anything. I offered, sorry, I'm not a public speaker. I offered, you know, what can we do as a community? You know, if the money's not there for the tower, can we do how do we get involved? Like, we live here and we love it. And I mean, there's, you know, we want to string lights across the street. I mean, you know, like Kate May does, you know, why don't we have poopy bags? You know, there's things that, I live next to 90-year-old ladies. The trash cans are tossed, you know, so some things are maybe trivial to some people, but, you know, this is a seasonal place with a lot of elderly. Trash cans are thrown, and a lot of people are seasonal. And I mean, again, maybe, I don't know, like, I pick them up, but is that something that can be, you know, just play, I don't know, just little things maybe are big things, or big things are little things. But I do have more little ideas and suggestions, but I think that's good for today. My neighbors, I tried to keep it simple, not bringing my whole Bates Avenue, because we have a great street. We said we would be a pilot street. We talked about, with the gentleman, he talked about having the trash cans, you know, collecting the litter on the street, because we walk Sunset every night. We said we would be a pilot, you know, we could test the waters, per se. But over a year, like, and I have called the MUA, and I mean, I called, I met, and I'm like, I don't know, something, you know, again, I work, I know if I mean, in a year's time, I think it's enough time to say, hey, I'm not interested, or we're going to table it, or yes, let's meet again and let's see what we can do as a community. And you know, we offered that. You know, again, said the community yard sale. I know a lot of the other, you know, my neighbors, they all want to do it. I mean, like, we're in the Villas now. We're $1 million homes now. You know, it's not the same reputation, and home of the best sunset. So,
Well,
that's all I got.
sounds like you have some good ideas and your concerns. You came to the right place to express your concerns, and we all respect those concerns. And if you wanted to exchange your phone number and name with Manager Laffey here.
I do recall our conversation now. The MUA, of course, they're the entity that would handle any kind of work that's done on the water towers at this point. And I know they have a plan to do at least the one that's at the north end of Villas, but I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do. I had a meeting with them, not specifically about that, but that was brought into the meeting, so I know there is a plan to do some type of graphic on that water tower. But I do recall meeting with you.
I'm sorry I didn't see you, yeah.
I
And
remember.
It's been a year,
now
so
that-
I don't even remember.
Now I remember you talking about trying to do some beach cleanup stuff and things that we talked about. And I'll gladly get together with you again. I'll give you my card if you want to come in and see me, and we'll go over it again, because we have been doing things along the bay front and our parks, and we have been busy with a lot of upgrades everywhere.
And I'm sure you have, and I don't.
But I get it,
you know,
and
I'm
I
just
get
saying,
it.
We're here to help, like.
No,
you
I
know,
agree. I agree. We need your help, so I will
We're
gladly set
community
up
here,
another
you
meeting
know?
with you if you want to try and set that up, and we'll discuss that another time.
What about in the stop signs on, like, I mean, I live by the fishing club, and I love it, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they're, like, all the streets, they're not four-way, so people go flying down there,
That's something we have to address
you
with the
know,
police
speed
department.
bumps, or, you know, because I said it's, you know, people walk their dogs, it's crazy anymore, and there's been the fatalities, and, you know, it's just trying to keep us safe here, you know, but,
Okay.
and I have others, but we can go further. I just thought, thank
Well, I
you,
appreciate you coming
thank
in
you.
and
No,
talking
I
about that.
appreciate, you know, hey, I love it here. Sunset, I'm missing sunset, I mean, next time, you know.
Don't forget to grab his card, so you